Past few weeks, we've had the privilege learning how to examine graphs and what their meanings are. So we learned about slope, or otherwise known as the average rate of change. The slope is very important to acknowledge because it has the ability in changing the direction and steepness of the graph. We call the direction of the slope several names depending on its direction, either positive, negative, horizontal, or vertical. As you can see, the positive is increasing, negative is decreasing, horizontal is constant, meaning no change in the slope, which is a 0 for a slope, and then vertical, which has no slope, meaning it's undefined. So what actually is y equals mx plus b, this equation right here? Well, y equals mx plus b is the slope-intercept form that gives you the slope and y-intercept. So y is what you're solving for, m is going to be your slope, which is whatever you solve for, your rise over your run, x is going to be your variable, and b is going to be your y-intercept. So, which in this case is 0b, where 0 is the slope and b is the y-intercept. The x-intercept is the independent variable, whereas the y-intercept is the dependent variable. The slope in the slope-intercept form explains if it is decreasing, which would be a downward motion, or increasing. You can see this by looking at the slope, or m, and see if it's negative or positive. So if your slope is negative, it's going to be a decreasing. If it's positive, it's going to be increasing. However, if you have a point and a slope, you can only graph if you use the point-slope formula, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And y1, you're going to put in the y-intercept. And for m, you're going to put in the slope. And for x1, you're going to plug in your x-intercept, or your x variable. The x-intercept is also called the domain in the graph, and the y-intercept is also known as the range of the line in the graph.
Our group, we decided on using height of person and arm span. We got these points right here for our second set. Our x-intercept is going to be the arm span, and the y-intercept is our height. This is the teacher's equation for her formula of height of a person and arm span. As you can see, from our second set of points, our slope-intercept is vaguely not close, but close enough for the points that we got. Our formulas are different only because we have different points. However, to compare the two, we basically have the same because for our slope, they're both positive. A lot of information, we know that arm spans can't be negative because without our arm span, there is no negative. It's impossible to have a negative arm span. Our graph Razortaur for our second set of points, you can see that it's going in an increasing slope. Our domain for the slope is negative infinity to a positive infinity. From our range, it's going to be 36 all the way to a positive infinity, because our 36 is the ending of the range going to downwards.